please silence your cell devices? Thank you.
Pick it up. Bin Pack packs it in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2020 RFMy Awards. To kick off today's program, please welcome RFMA Executive Director and CEO Tracy Thompson, CAE, and 2020 RFMA Chairman of the Board, Preston Funkhauser, CRFP, from Cracker Barrel Old Country Store.
Good afternoon. Boy, you all look good out there. Y'all are a good-looking bunch. So before we get started with the program today, I want to take a moment to say how excited we are to have Preston coming in as our new board chair during this time of transition for RFMA. I will say, you know, I've had 15 bosses in 15 years, and just like you don't have a favorite child, I don't have a favorite chair, but you're my favorite chair at this moment. So I'm very excited to have you. So prior to this, Preston has been an incredibly engaged member of RFMA before taking on this role as chair. He joined back in 2014, which is also the same time that he entered the restaurant facilities world, so he just jumped right in. Prior to that, Preston spent 20 years as an engineer in the United States Army. Thank you for your service, Preston.
Thank you. My pleasure.
And he's also a graduate of West Point. So you can be sure that Preston will bring military precision to this role as chairman of the board of RFMA, and he will keep this unruly bunch in line. And they need it a lot. So, Preston, we look forward to having your calm and thoughtful and meticulous leadership style guide us through this next year of change. RFMA is in excellent hands. Welcome, Preston. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Tracy. It's great to see all these smiling faces, and it's an honor to serve as your next RFMA chair, after Rob Walk and those who served before him in this role. And I'm grateful for their leadership, and congratulations on a really great year. I'm excited to help RFMA build on the strong foundation created by Tracy, the board of directors, our great staff, our wonderful committees, and you, the membership. As Tracy just mentioned, I'm relatively new to the restaurant facilities industry. When Cracker Barrel took a chance on this old soldier in 2014, the facilities team, most of which are sitting over here and right over here, they invited me to join them at my first RFMA conference in Dallas, Texas. And there I learned about this organization, all of you, and the value it provides to our industry. What I'm not new to, with my 20-year background in a slightly different industry, the U.S. Army, is the people business. And RFMA, among all other associations that I've been aware of and part of, does the people business best. This is the culture that sets RFMA apart. In the Army, we had a phrase. Okay, well, we had a lot of phrases. But this one in particular comes to mind today. Mission first, people always. And to me, that mantra rings true for our organization as well, whose mission it is to train the restaurant facility professionals of the future. We exist to invest in our members' professional development, their networking, their business skills, and their technical skills. We exist to provide a welcoming environment to newcomers like me back in 2014, to this very challenging but very rewarding and fulfilling industry. We've got a really terrific team this year, and RFMA is in a great place to move forward due to the hard work of a lot of terrific people, including our current and past board members, our RFMA staff, but most certainly due to the inspired leadership, passion, and tireless dedication of our CEO and Executive Director, Tracy. And I'm so happy for her as she moves on to the next chapter of her life. And a big thank you for all that Tracy has done to build RFMA to what it is today. I look forward to serving alongside my brothers and sisters on the board and the RFMA staff, and serving the membership in new and exciting ways. After this week in Denver, I encourage all of you to take the opportunity to learn, to build your network, to deepen your pool of qualified vendors, extend a helping hand, to mentor, and to have a great time doing all of that. Also, please fill out your benchmarking survey. With that said, it is now time to recognize those who have channeled their passion and commitment this past year as restaurant facility professionals with our very own RFMy Awards. Thank you. But first, allow me to welcome Mark Hansen from BIMPAC Compactors, our RFMy Awards sponsor, to introduce our guest MC for this afternoon. Awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks, Preston. Today, we are going to hear from Ross Schaefer. So Ross has bought and sold 24 different businesses, a profitable hobby he started at age 21. By 30, he ventured into a different kind of business, show business, collecting 6 Emmy Awards as a comedian, writer, and TV host of such shows as The Matchup Game on ABC, The Late Show on Fox, and Almost Live on NBC. And because Ross is obsessed with who succeeds and who fails, he's chronicled his findings in 9 popular business books on market growth, relevance, and the customer experience. But he is most proud of his best-selling book, Cook Like a Stud, which is 38 recipes men can prepare in the garage using their own tools. So please welcome the unconventional Ross Schaefer.
Boom, here we go. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Could we get a round of applause for the Dave Camp Band? Thank you very much, guys. Perfect. I'm really happy to be here. I was in the restaurant. I had a number of businesses, and I had a couple of restaurants, and so I appreciate your personalities more than anything. People in the restaurant business are in the emergency business. And you bark orders because things go wrong every other second, which makes you bold. And I was walking up here through this beautiful hotel, about to come in these doors, and a woman who I won't point out, but you'll know who you are, walked up to me, and she looks at the sign outside, and she goes, "Oh, you're the keynote speaker?" I said, "Yes, I am." "Oh, is that your hair?" Yes, as a matter of fact, that's my hair. But that's what I mean by bold. Our family looks like this. We look like a family of concierge wherever we go. But I'm fascinated that we have this new 2020 year to figure out how to manage this next decade. And that's what I'll talk a little bit about today, and I'm going to talk in my workshop a little bit later. But this is the question I ask of you. Are you current or are you relevant? Current is knowing that you know things are changing. In fact, I have a sign in my office that says if you don't like change, you're going to hate extinction. But relevant is actually taking action and making a decision that's right for you. I'll give you this example. Being current is this. You know skinny jeans are popular. Relevant is knowing they're not for you. Good, we're on the same page now, aren't we? I also have to be very kind of clear about what I'm not. I'm not one of those motivational guys. I'm not a Tony Robbins, set your hair and feet on fire. I'm not going to do any of that. Tony's a nice enough guy, I know him, but he sells enthusiasm. That's what he does. Tony is so optimistic. I swear if that guy ever went to jail, he'd tell you he lived in a gated community. But I'm not going to do that. I sell tactics. I want step-by-step blueprints for how to be successful, and I'll talk about that a little bit here and a little bit later. But I also have to tell you what I am. I'm Blackfoot Indian, grew up on 2 reservations in the Pacific Northwest, which is a very different way to be raised. But I'll tell you something that I learned as a young boy, because hunting is very big in that culture. You have to be a good hunter to be successful in that culture. And so we were taught as young boys, if you want to be successful in the hunt, you have to do one thing. You have to follow the tracks of the herd. It's no different than in this business. If we're not paying attention to what our herd wants, we will die. And the companies that I bought and sold, it's usually because they were thinking they were too smart for the herd. You can never outsmart the herd. You can have a concept, you try the concept. If the herd doesn't like it, then the concept dies, right? That's what and I've taken that in every business I've ever owned. But there's something you probably don't know about the Indian culture. Vegan is an Indian word, means bad hunter. Yeah, it's going pretty well so far, isn't it? You're thinking, yeah. All right, this book is a real book. I did write a book, and I was in television for about a dozen years, and you're always looking about what will be the next thing the herd will want to watch. And I'm a data guy, so it turned out that a lot of people wanted to watch more cooking on television in the year 1991. The expert didn't believe it. They said, oh, no, we don't need more cooking. We just put a recipe on at the end of a show, 6 ingredients, because the viewers can't pay attention to more than 6 ingredients. I said, I think you're wrong, because you said the same thing about televised fishing, and people love to watch other people fish on TV. So I wrote this book on a weekend. I borrowed recipes from my mother, my grandmother, and so I was told it was going to be a disaster. Here's what a disaster it was. In the first 3 months, I sold 250,000 copies of that book. And it's a bad book. Don't buy this book. But I will tell you how we marketed it. All I had to do was go on TV and make it fun.
First of all, pre-skewer your white potato with your screwdriver and use your bench grinder. Yeah, just like that. One more. There we are. One more. I'll do one more.
Oh!
Wow, look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, as you can see, it had some serious flaws. But you know what? Nobody cared. Nobody cared that it wasn't perfect. And that's a lesson that I want to pass on to you. If you've got an idea, would you just launch it? Don't get in a meeting with 3 other people and say, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? No, just launch the idea and let the herd sort it out for you. The herd, you do not have to be perfect to launch. You do not have to be perfect to go public. You just have to let the herd weigh in, and they'll tell you everything that you would ever need to know. Now, here's something I wanted to talk to you about also. You are in the customer business. And I'm in the business of studying customers and then studying customers and where they go to spend their money. And I found something this past 2 years that will shock you, and it's this: wows don't matter. Wows do not cause loyalty to happen with your customers. And you say, well, that doesn't make any sense. Yes, and I'm going to prove this to you. We live in the Amazon world. The biggest company in the world. You love Amazon. More people have high scores for Amazon than any other company in the world. And yet you and I don't know anybody who works there. We don't know we've never talked to anybody at Amazon. But here's what they do. They make a promise and they deliver on their promise. They tell us they're going to ship it and they get it shipped. So here's the data of these customer metric companies that back this up. Look at the CSAT's, one of these companies. Says, hey, look, determine what people want, give them that. You don't necessarily have to exceed their expectations. The bigger risk to loyalty is when we fail people or disappoint people. Here's another one, customer effort. How much effort is it for people to do business with you? Service organizations get loyal customers by reducing customer effort and friction, not by delighting them during the process. So instead of the wow, what I would love for you to focus on, instead of trying to out-wow your competition, instead, eliminate the pow moments. The wow versus pow. The pow moments are that's the gut punch we give somebody when we don't do what we say we're going to do. It's when we don't return a call or an email. It's when we made a promise and we didn't keep that promise. Pow versus wow. Now, in my culture, we have powwows. You know what those are for? You get the Indian nations together and you work out your differences. It's very simple, it works, and I'll give you some examples. Pow moment, here's a pow moment. So there's a tech company that we deal with, and my team can't get any answers on support. I get on the phone. I get this guy. Hey, thanks for calling. My name is Jason. How can I provide you with outstanding customer care? I got right on the phone and said, hey, Jason, quit this job, man. Why did you say that? Because you're reading that, aren't you? How could you tell that? Look, dude, you're not going to take yourself to the next level. You're not going to take anybody to the next. You need to find one of those jobs where you don't talk to people. That's what you need. How dare they put that guy on the phone? We're branding. We're auditioning every second in this life. Don't put that guy on the phone. Put smart people on the phone. Look, I don't have any stake, or I don't even have any stock in the company TireRack.com, but you ought to call them up and see what they do. They've got an expert every time they answer the phone. They'll look at your car. They'll know where you live. They'll recommend, not even the highest price. Just call those people, and that's how we need to behave when we're on the phone. And here's the other thing. Look at this GE Capital. This is a recorded message. As a commitment to quality, some of our departments might be closed right now. Wow, how'd they think that through? Now, here's the other trick that you should know. You can wow people, you can wow and wow and wow, but it turns out one POW moment destroys 5 wows. One POW moment destroys the 5 wows. Because human nature is to default to the negative, and you know this with your customers. They have a long memory with you. If they don't have a good experience, they will think about it for a very long time. I'll give you another example of this. So, our team went to the Toyota dealerships in 9 states. And our job was to see, how do you get people from the showroom into the parts and service department? They don't make any money on used cars and very little money on new cars. They make money. They make a lot of bank on service and repairs and parts. So I went back to the Puyallup Indian Reservation. They have a Toyota dealership. The guy could not wait to see me. Oh, I knew you were coming. I got something for you. We wow our people. Oh, this is unbelievable. So what did you do? Well, we did this. We put in an Otis Spunkmeyer cookie machine, and we know that a chocolate chip cookie warm is like the best aroma in the world, and they just come in here like rats. That's what they can't even wait to come into the parts department. They go, that's a good idea, right? I said, it's a terrible idea. It's a terrible. I would take the machine out. What do you mean? It's a potential POW moment, and here's why. I come in and I look in the showroom because I would like to get a new car, because my old car is in your service department. I come back and I smell it and I follow the sniff until I find myself in the parts department, and there are no cookies in the drawer. Now I'm disappointed in you. He goes, oh, I can't afford a full-time cookie steward. Nope, take the machine out. I don't get it. Here's what it is. So I go back to the service department, and I get the service guy because my car is rattling. He comes up and he goes, you know what, Mr. Schaefer, your Land Cruiser there's rattling because it needs a new transmission. That's $4,860, and as the labor put it in, it's another $1,980. You want a cookie? No, I don't want a cookie. The cookie is not going to overcome what we feel. Wow versus POW works. If you want your scores to go up, eliminate your POW moments. That's how people judge us in an on-demand economy today. All right, we have some awards to do. You want to get started with these awards? Yes, we do. All right, please join me as we welcome Tracy and Treston back to the stage. All right, before we get started with today's awards, we want to acknowledge the following award winners who were presented with their RFMy Awards during a special ceremony held at the committee luncheon on Saturday. So, would you please stand and be recognized as your name is called? And the first one is the Member Engagement Enthusiast Award. Stand if you are Michael Brown from General Parts. Where is Michael? There we go. All right. Here's the Education Excellence Award. Jeff Wells from Bojangles. Where are you, Jeff? Okay, now we have a Fantastic Franchisee Award. Bob Bloom, Hinckley Management Group. Bob? You know, it'd be kind of cool when you stand, raise your hand so the rest of us can see you. There. Okay, Bob, sit down. Thank you. All right, here's our Resources Rockstar Award. Mary Taylor from Mahoney Environmental. Where are you? Hey, Mary, wait. That's it. Shake your hands. Next up, Editor Extraordinaire Award. Paul Dowdy, CRFP. Where are you, buddy? Paul? All right, Vendor Voice, Valued Volunteer Award. This goes to Jeremy Cuellar, CRFP, Ameritech Facility Services. Congratulations. Boss of Buzz Award, Fred Leon, Bagel Brands. Where are you, Fred? There's Fred waving in the back. Would you please join me in congratulating these very deserving RFMy Award winners? Now, and all of you can get up and move to the doors because we want to take your pictures. Thank you, guys. All right, our first RFME is Rookie of the Year Award. And this award goes to a RFMA restaurant member who has had outstanding achievement while being brand new to that position or in the field of facility management. And the RFME goes to Jorge Guevaru, CRFP, the Habit Burger Grill. Let me tell you about Jorge. Jorge stepped into the facilities manager role in November 2018, and he's gone above and beyond in learning with a lot of enthusiasm while serving the operations team. He recently attained his CRFP this past December, and his supervisor could not be more proud. His dedication to facilities surpasses all expectations. Please give a round of applause for Jorge. Thank you, Jorge. Next award, Marvelous Mentor Award. The Marvelous Mentor Award goes to a RFMA member who has acted as a mentor to help develop a new young facility professional. And the RFME for Marvelous Mentor Restaurant goes to Billy Toe, CRFP of the Panda Restaurant Group. Okay. See that big buildup I gave it? But unfortunately, he's not here. Billy is not here today, but we would like to acknowledge his achievement. So now, applause, because we're going to have this. Sean Coe, Sean Coe from Panda nominated Billy for the award. Can I tell him the rest about it? All right, I'm going to tell you the rest. Sean said that during his own interview process with Panda, which was a 9-month process, and he met Billy many times, after his hire, Billy placed Sean through this mini boot camp in operations, and then the real boot camp followed. His approach to development was to not give the answers, but to encourage Sean to think for himself and come up with the answer on his own and the resources that Panda provided him. Sean says that he's more confident in his role. His development and effectiveness with operations has been accelerated because of Billy's mentorship. Congratulations to Billy. Can we please give that nice round of applause? Thank you. Okay, now another marvelous mentor, this to the vendor. So the RFME Award for Marvelous Mentor Vendor goes to Crystal Vasquez, CRFP, Chain Store Maintenance. Where are you, Crystal? All right, while she comes up here, I'll tell you about Crystal. Crystal's an integral team player. She assists with the functioning of the business development department. She supports the business development department by integrating their customer needs, expectations, policies, procedures, all within the service department. In general, Crystal uses her knowledge and experience to act as a liaison between their customers and CSM's department to achieve this ongoing positive experience and partnership. She coaches her team to provide exceptional customer service, and she served as a mentor in RFMA's 2019 membership program and was a moderator on the Leadership Lessons Call for Young Professionals. But wait, there is more. In addition, Crystal is a new RFMA member who achieved her CRFP designation in her first year. Crystal's always looking for opportunities to mentor and coach young professionals in the industry, and with that, we want to congratulate Crystal Vasquez. All right, let's move on to the Innovator Awards. The Innovator Award goes to a RFMA member who has thought outside the box and created an innovative new initiative at their company. The RFME for the Restaurant Innovator Award Restaurant goes to Luis Gouache. He's from Bahama Breeze and Eddie V's. Is he here? There he is. Luis worked very closely with Darden Design Team to implement a very special patio refresh program for 9 Bahama Breezes requested by the brand president to be completed in approximately 2 months, which included permitting. The project consisted of adding roll downs to close the odd-shaped patios when they had bad weather, added electrical and gas to add patio heaters and fans, added new patio furniture packages, revamping ADA ramps to the patios, and figuring out these intricate design issues. And Luis and his vendor worked diligently to solve many issues with the building departments of the various cities to obtain permits and get the projects completed on time. The major revenue driving project was in addition to his normal facility projects, and at the end received kudos from the president and the brand for getting this accomplished and providing the brand the ability to increase sales by being able to use the patios for seating in the colder winter months. Big congratulations to Luis. All right, RFMA Innovator Vendor Award goes to Josh Zolan, Windy City Equipment. Come on up, Josh. Oh, yeah. Great music for Josh. Here's what Josh has done. He authored a book called Blue is the New White. And in this book, Josh highly encourages young men and women to consider learning a trade rather than just going to college just to be going to college. Your industry is in need of a revitalization of our youth to become tradespeople once again. We know that without some kind of big push by people like Josh to make the trades acceptable and cool again, that you're going to face a really big problem in the very near future. Equipment, machines, all need to be worked on by humans who have just been trained. Now, we've seen a renewed interest in the trades in a very short time since his book came out, and we're witnessing schools that are becoming now reopened, and that specifically include things like HVAC, welding, electrical, and refrigeration, just to name a few of the trades. But before this book and the permission to talk about the trades this way was made possible, these types of schools and apprenticeship programs were nowhere to be found and soon to be closed. Thank you very much, and congratulations to you, Josh. All right, we have a Shooting Star Award. Now, the Shooting Star Award goes to a RFMA vendor member who's being recognized for outstanding sales achievements in 2019. The RFMy Award goes to Jenna Dominguez from the Branded Group. Hey, Jenna. Here she comes. As she comes up, I'll tell you about her. Jenna focuses on inside sales and fostering great trusted relationship. She oversees more than 50 customer accounts and has more than quadrupled her sales goals by growing her new accounts by 25%. She began her facility maintenance career at Branded Group as their company's administrative assistant before being offered the role of sales representative. And quickly, she adapted and thrived in this new role where she's an innovative member of the sales team who is truly committed to her clients' success. That's a great inspirational story right there. Congratulations to Jenna. All right, the next award we have is the RFMA Go-Getter Award, and this award goes to a volunteer on the RFMA Gives Committee who went above and beyond to meet the needs of the 2020 project. And the RFMA for RFMA Gives Go-Getter goes to Josh Raines, CRFP, Romano's Macaroni Grill. All right. Oh, here it comes. All right, I'm going to tell you, this is the second time Josh has been a project manager of a RFMA Gives project. He was involved with the second one here in Denver and the same cafe in 2012. Josh's passion for giving back is pretty obvious, and his can-do attitude on getting the projects completed at the Stout Street Foundation was pretty unbelievable. His positivity contributed to the success at this year's project, and all involved appreciated Josh's efforts. Big round of applause for Josh. Congratulations. This is a big award, Lifetime Achievement. This award is given to a RFMA member who has made a valuable contribution over the duration of their career. towards the betterment of the restaurant facilities industry. The RFMy Award for Lifetime Achievement goes to Tom Cullen from Facility Solutions. Come on up, Tom. Oh, it's another one. Unfortunately, Tom's not here today, but we want to recognize his contribution. So, let me tell you about it. As an early member of RFMA, Tom's support and loyalty to RFMA's cause has been pretty unwavering. Tom retired at the end of 2019, and his example should stand as a model for current and for future RFMA members. He was, and still is, extremely passionate about passing along knowledge to those coming behind him in the restaurant facilities industry. As a vendor, he was laser focused on not only making sure his customer was successful, but more than that, that the person who hired him would be successful in their role as well. His capacity to be so down to earth, he was honest, he is honest, open, and fiercely loyal, is going to be missed across the RFMA community. Tom was the new Member of the Year in 2008, he's Vendor of the Year in 2016, and has served on the RFMA Gives Steering Committee since 2016. He's always been a strong supporter of RFMA and a valuable volunteer, serving on numerous committees in his tenure. Tom, we wish all the best to you in your retirement. You will be missed. Give a big round of applause for Tom. Innovation. I'm kind of an innovation freak. And I get kind of inspired pretty easily by people like you've just seen here on the stage. So I wanted to pass along a trick that I would love for all of you to try. You have to find, because I study 18 different industries, and I do about 70 of these presentations every year, I get a little microcosm of who's succeeding, who's failing, and so forth. So this is my thing to you. I want you to look outside the restaurant industry for ideas, blueprints that already work. And here's my number one tactic. I want you to crash the wrong meetings. You're only going to restaurant facility meetings. You're missing 98% of what's happening in this world. And you need to, and I can see by your face, you're going, I can't do that. I can't just, there are hotels everywhere we live. They're all having meetings just like this, just wander in the back. Then you say, but I don't have a badge. You don't need a badge. There are no badge police in this world. They're not going to stop you, and here's what you say. If anybody ever stops you, you look them right in the eye and they say, hey, buddy, do you have a badge for this meeting? You look at them and you say, I don't have a badge. And they'll take full responsibility. They're going to say, oh, we need more people at registration. I'm sorry, look, there's a chair right over there. Everybody gets a hat and a briefcase. Here, you take that and sit down over there. Here's a coupon for the boat ride later. You're going to love that. Now you're going to sit down and you'd hear things you'd never hear in your life because you don't go to healthcare meetings. Maybe you don't go to gym meetings. I'm telling you, just go in, sit down for 8 minutes, and it's so valuable. Here's what you would learn. I'll give you an example. I go to Las Vegas a lot because there's a tremendous amount of meeting space out there and a lot of meetings. And they have boards out front where you can read who's going to have the meeting. So I'm in a healthcare convention. Right next door is the Association of Human Nature convention. And there's about 3,000 people in there, and the board says, how is technology changing human nature? And I said, I'd like to know that. So I walk right in, nobody stops me, I sit down, and here's the first thing I hear. This professor from UCLA said, well, you know, we're a time-starved society now, the on-demand time-starved society. We don't have enough time to go league bowling anymore. We don't even have enough time now to figure out what we're going to eat. Do you know that 50% of the people in this room, this is what he's telling us, 50% of you at 4 p.m. have still not decided what you're going to feed your family at 6. And I asked that question of you. Are you in that group? You're in the restaurant business. You can find a restaurant, but if you're having to shop for your own food, you wait 2 hours before you're supposed, so you can't plan a meal. In my family, we had a freezer. My mother planned our meals 6 or 7 years in advance, I'm pretty sure. But for the rest of the world, they can't decide. And then 19% of the food you buy in a grocery store never even gets home. You're eating it in the car on the way somewhere else. And I think this is brilliant. This is a great piece of information. I leave the meeting after 9 minutes because I have a client I think can help it. So I call Doug Schmidt at McCormick & Schmick's Seafood Restaurants. And I tell him this information. He goes, I didn't know that was happening. Because you weren't at the Human Nature Convention, were you, Doug? Here's what I said, what do we do with that? Let's try this. Let's try a test market in Portland, Oregon, where they have their test markets. And I said, let's run radio ads at 3:30 in the afternoon with that message. Hey, if you haven't decided what you want for dinner, why don't you think about McCormick & Schmick's? We'll do the dishes. We have 30 varieties of fresh seafood. You'll go home to a nice, clean house. So we try it. In 6 weeks, we spike revenue almost $2 million. And people say, that's so inventive, that's so creative. And I have to remind people, no, it was theft. I stole an idea at the Human Nature Convention, gave it to Doug, and he made money. You can do this all day long. I mean, really, you think I'm kidding, but I want you to try this. I want you to take courage to do this. Here's a good example of this. I'm in Toronto, and I'm the keynote speaker at the CVS pharmacy meeting. 50th anniversary. 50th anniversary. They've got 6,000 locations now. And so before I go on, the operations manager's there, and he's talking about the customer experience and how they're improving it at the CVS pharmacy. And so I'll try to reenact this for you. He goes up to the podium and, hey, thanks everybody. We're doing a really good job out there. Thanks for your help. You know, we're making a lot of changes, and you'll get a note about this, that from now on, we're no longer going to be putting the back pain medications on the low shelves. What? For 50 years, you're making these people walk in there and say, no, I can get that. I can get that. I'm all right. I got it. How does that happen? How does that even happen? You know how it happens. Once we find a thing that works for us, we don't change it. No, but we're not even thinking about what our customers, the effort they have to go through, or how we've placed things in a various situation to make it harder for them to buy from us. Now, here's another good example of this. I tried to pick some food examples. Tim's Potato Chips had an empty bag issue, where they were, excuse me, you know, you'd ship to the 24 to a box to a 7-Eleven or a Circle K. But 3 or 4 of the bags would be empty. How is that even possible? They're sealed and empty. And so I was at the potato chip convention, and they were talking about this. And they said, well, what'd you do? And the people from Tim said, well, you know, we figured we had to calibrate the weight as the bag crosses the conveyor belt there, and we needed the engineers to get a robotic arm on there, and then if you get a light bag, it'll sweep it off, which, you know, it's about $32,000 a machine, but it caused more trouble because now it's machinery. That goes crazy, and sometimes it would whip and hit the operator, and it would still ship empty bags. And so here's what they did. They went to their own team and said, is there anybody in the system that has not shipped an empty bag? And it turns out in Kent, Washington, there was a guy who never shipped an empty bag. Well, what's that guy doing? What kind of machinery does he have? So they get on an airplane, then they go down to Kent, Washington, put on their white hard hats, and walk out on the floor. They see this guy and feel like idiots. Because this guy, his name was Lee had solved the problem. Lee went down to Walmart and bought himself a little fan. Yeah, empty bag comes across his belt, and the old fan just kind of flips it off. Never shipped an empty bag. What's the lesson here? We overthink. That's the lesson. The people who are closest to our problems usually have the solution. We just need to give them permission to tell us what it is. And I encourage you to underthink. That's why I'm saying if you go to these other meetings, you see how other people are operating, and you think, oh, I got a problem that I can solve with that idea. Now, I saved my best for last. This is Larimar Apartment Homes. They have a meeting in Huntington Beach, and I'm there, and there's 800 people in the room. And this is started by an out-of-work carpenter who took dilapidated buildings and turned them into senior housing and military housing, college housing. Now they got 55,000 units. They're all paid for. It's a cash machine. But they have problems like everybody has problems. And so at the meeting, the gruff, kind of muscle-bound owner stands up and he says, yeah, good year, thanks, but we have an issue. You know, I need your help. You know, we lost about $3 million in pet deposits last year because our tenants are lying to us about having a small dog or a cat. How are we going to get that money back? Anybody? Who's got an idea? Hey, raise your hand up. Now, it's intimidating. Nobody's going to raise their hand. So he asked the question a different way. Who's always gotten their pet deposits in here? And now a hand goes up from a guy who was not really paying attention. Now the spotlight's on this guy. You always get your pet deposits? He said, yes, sir, I do. Where are you from? I'm out there in San Antonio, Texas. I manage 67 units. I always get my pet deposits. Well, tell us what you do out there. We need to know. Share it with us. Sir, I just made an investment and I bought myself a dog whistle. I just walk up and down the hall blowing my whistle. I find them dogs. You kidding me? For 26 years, this company's been around. Nobody thought of the dog whistle. So here's what the owner did. The owner must have sent his whole team throughout Southern California to pick up dog. Everybody was leaving with a dog whistle from that meeting. And I thought, are you guys going to do something with that? And he said, oh, yeah, I think we're going to install that. So I checked with him almost a year later, and I said, hey, I was at that meeting. Whatever happened with the dog whistle thing? Oh, it was a big success. Oh, that was a huge success. We had people knocking on doors, and people would lie to us, and they said, "Do you have a pet?" Why would you say that? You know. Look at that. Come here, buddy. You're a cute little doggy, aren't you? Unbelievable. I said, "Well, did you get any money back?" He says, "Yes. Everybody's blowing dog whistles. We got almost $2 million back with the dog whistles." Now, see, here's the thing. These solutions are cheap. Really? A dog whistle for the cost of $3.70? Unless you want the used one, that's $4.99. Who's buying a used dog whistle? But this is my point. You can innovate. You don't think you can, but you borrow blueprints from other industries that are not this industry, and it will look totally fresh to restaurant facilities management. All right, so now let's get some more awards here. I want to welcome Tracy and Preston back, and we're going to introduce some of these. We've got quite a few awards left to go. You coming back? Tracy, Preston, there they are. All right.
Oh, we're going this way.
All right, let's see. Debbie, Debbie Kinsel? Is Debbie going to come on? Oh, she is. There's Debbie. This is RFMA Education Director. She's going to recognize the newest CRFP designation.
Thank you, Ross. The CRFP program is a great asset to RFMA members. The program not only provides the opportunity to achieve the designation, it also provides a platform to expand individuals' knowledge of areas their specific brand might not deal with on a daily basis. Many companies have added earning your CRFP to their team's annual goals. We invite you to do the same. Now I would like to introduce the individuals who earned their CRFP designation during the past year. It is through a combination of knowledge, experience, and preparation that these distinguished professionals have achieved this designation.
Phil Byers, CRFP. Todd Graham, CRFP. Jorge Guevara, CRFP. Sean Housen, CRFP. Travis Larson, CRFP. Sandra McDonald, CRFP. Bevan McPherson, CRFP. David Nelson, CRFP. Mark Raymond, CRFP. Jay Roach, CRFP. Carrie Thompson, CRFP. Derek Tupper, CRFP. Aaron Tuscan, CRFP. Warren Van Alstine, CRFP. Dan Van Krunigen, CRFP. Crystal Vasquez, CRFP. Derek Boss, CRFP.
In addition, here are the names of CRFP recipients that could not attend today's luncheon.
Todd Bartow, CRFP. Bruce Cannerday, CRFP. Dre Kahn, CRFP. Isaac Connolly, CRFP. Mark Galassini, CRFP. Bernard Grimes, CRFP. James Groth, CRFP. Greg Haas, CRFP. Randy Lagarde, CRFP. Bob Maciel, CRFP. Weston Ramirez, CRFP. Amy Rinkins, CRFP. Jose Sanchez, CRFP. Felipe Soltero, CRFP. Robert Swartz, CRFP. Allison Tootle, CRFP. Jenna Williams, CRFP. Hailong Zhang, CRFP. Congratulations to all of our new CRFP designations.
Very good, Debbie. Good job. Thank you, Debbie, and congratulations to all of our new CRFPs. And while we're recognizing members who are elevating themselves, we wanted to recognize the participants in the RFMA Mentorship Program, where we pair experienced industry professionals with those who are new to the industry and looking to grow in their careers. If you out in the audience are a current mentor or mentee in this program, would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you. Thank you. If you're interested in learning more about the mentorship program and how to be a part of it, contact Ryan Bird, and she would gladly tell you all about it. Thank you.
In 2019, RFMA partnered with Harmonic Learning to provide an annual leadership program for members looking for an opportunity to hone their leadership skills. The process to participate included being nominated and endorsed by their boss and submitting an application to be selected to participate. Leadership RFMA Class of 2019-2020, please stand and be recognized. RFMA is so proud of this program and these members and their commitment. A new class started their journey on Saturday here at the conference. We will be accepting applications for the 2020-2021 class in December. Thank you.
The final awards in this year's RFMys, I have the honor of paying tribute to two RFMA members for their outstanding contributions to RFMA who were selected by the Board of Directors. First, the award for Vendor of the Year, which goes to, this is Bill Shaphorst, Maintenex International. Where are you, Bill? Here he comes. Bill's been a RFMA member since 2012, and his RFMA involvement has included the Communications and Publications Committee, Resources Committee, for which he received the Resource Rockstar Award in 2014, and he has been a peer-to-partner call moderator multiple times, as well as written many articles for Facilitator magazine. He was also a nominee for the Vendor Representative to the Board for 2020. Bill, you're a hard-working, true gentleman and a professional. Thank you for all you have contributed to RFMA. All right, next, we have the award for Restaurateur of the Year, which goes to Tony Elrod, Zaxby's. Tony has been a member since 2014 and a valued member ever since. He served as co-chair on the Resources Committee and is also the Franchisee Task Force member, where he has been instrumental in working with RFMA to help us grow that portion of your membership. He participates on nearly every peer-to-peer and peer-to-partner call, voluntarily hosted a restaurant roundtable event at his office, and was a 2020 nominee for the RFMA Board of Directors. Congratulations, Tony. Great work. Well, thank you for letting me be a part of this, and now I'd like to hand it back over to Tracy for the final award of the day.
Yeah. Thank you, Ross, very much. Thank you. Thank you, Ross. Okay, so this last award is called the MVP Award, and it's presented to someone of my choosing who has been a most valuable player. Oh gosh, I just got a little choked up, so I realized this is my last MVP award to give out. This is someone who's been a most valuable member on the team and is deserving of special recognition going above and beyond. This award is named after Jack McNerney, who retired in 2018 and set the bar for what is meant to be a volunteer leader in RFMA. This year's Jack McNerney MVP Award goes to Danny Koontz, Calling Your Restaurant Group. Well, I didn't cry yesterday, but I cried today.
Danny has been a RFMA member since our inception. He is a director of facilities management with Collier Restaurant Group, but prior to that, he was a director of facilities for Ruby Tuesday, where he worked for 35 years and 9 months. For anyone who has ever worked with or for Danny, and there are a lot of you in this room, you know he is a force of nature. He has a big personality and an even bigger heart. Over the past 15 years, he's been an integral part of RFMA, serving on the original panel of restaurateurs who helped to found RFMA. He immediately joined the board, served as treasurer, and his financial report was always simply, "We've got money," and was board chair in 2012 when the RFMA conference in Las Vegas happened, and he just declared during the general session that there was no curfew. Danny has continued to serve on the Advisory Council and the RFMA Gives Steering Committee, and as a trusted advisor who Tracy says she can always count on for candid feedback during their quote-unquote girl talks.
Danny, just personally, I want to say thank you for all you've given to RFMA and our industry, and thanks to Robin and Adam, who may be watching out there, for sharing you with us for the past 15 years. Well, thank you. Congratulations. All right, Carrie, you and me, we're going to go.
Thank you, Ross. And thank you, Dave Camp Band. Didn't they do great? Now, let's get up and head over to the exhibit hall for dessert and your last chance to make those critical connections. On your table is a gift from our sponsor, Bin Pack, which is a reusable straw. Please be sure to take those with you. And have a great afternoon, and we'll see everyone tonight at the closing party at Wings Over Rockies. Transportation departs from the veranda beginning at 6:30 p.m. Thank you.